What's up, everyone? Lately, I've been playing the Italian opening because nobody really likes my London opening because I used it for 100 videos and eventually it stopped working. But today, I'm here to prove that it actually does work. In my last video, I got completely destroyed while using the Italian, so I decided to go back to using the London. Uh, If this makes you click off the video, I'm sorry, but let's begin. So you all know how the London works by now. Go d4, proponent responds. I bring out the bishop, then I bring out the pawn, and I bring out the knight. This is the standard London form. So the point, I'm just going to go over this quickly because you've seen this a million times, is to go for the c7 square, allowing for, easy forks of the king and his rook. Okay, now my opponent brought out his bishop, and I decided this was the perfect chance to push for that pawn. My opponent, his dark square bishop is blocked, can't do that. He does not want to move his king. That would prevent him from castling later on. His queen is definitely not going to sacrifice to protect this rook. There were a couple options. He could have brought out the rook here, but I definitely would have taken his pawn. So he thought about this for a good 2 minutes, and he decided to block the bishop. A very good idea, but this allows me to take his pawn here, and then I get an extra pawn out of this, this trade, and I also end pressuring the knight. So he could have done a few things. He could have, this is where he started not playing it well. He could have pressured my knight. He could have moved his knight up to any of these squares. I don't think retreating your knight back to its starting point was the right decision. But he did that anyway. I decided to move my pawn up. I was thinking of pushing, allowing me to, pressure his pawn and bishop at the same time. He then pushed, and I decided a trade would be good here. And then I pushed. Then he decided to, he made a bad decision to, pressure my knight, allowing me the chance to bring it back and, aiding in taking this control of this e4 square. He took, and I decided, why not take the queens here? This will stop him from castling later on, which I thought, but I didn't really think about this here. And, this situation could be put on hold. He's got to take the queen first, obviously. It's a high priority for him. That he then brought out his castle. Then I took, he took, and I took, and now we're in the situation where I end up losing a pawn. I can't castle queenside because the rook is blocking, so I decided to start developing my pieces to being able to castle kingside. But then he decided to bring out his bishop, stop me from castling queen and kingside. So now my king's kind of trapped. I decided to castle queenside. But what I did to do that was I brought out the bishop and I placed it, or kind of blocked the rook from being able to stop me from castling. And it also opened up an option to castle kingside if he ever decided to move his dark square bishop. Then he decided to push his knight in, endangering my rook, making it move and stopping me from being able to castle kingside as well. Actually, what I should have done was I could have castled kingside, but then he could have done something like this where he moves his rook and I'm in check. So I didn't want to deal with that. So instead, I just brought out the rook and blocked here, allowing me to still castle queenside. I did lose a pawn out of this trading, but at least I was able to get the castle off, which was important. At the moment, I was blocking him from castling, and I like that. We did some trading here and it came out equal. He then brought out his rook, which will stop him from castling. At this point, I actually clicked and was about to trade rooks, but then I thought I needed it, so I kept the rook in the game. And then we came into this time where we're trying to take each other's pawns. In the end, it came out a little even. This is where he messed up. What I think he should have done here was, what I was expecting here was for him to push. What I should have done actually was taken here, because what he could have done in this situation right here was push it past me. I can't move here. He's in check. I can't move back. His rook. So this could have been the turning point in the game for him, but he decided instead to check, which, I mean, it's a decent move, but I think he could have done better. And then, as you can see over here, I'm moving this up. I know that he is a rook, and I know he's going to do this. What I was planning for was something like this, where this will, when it got to the other side. So let me just show you what I did. So, in this situation, I just had to move back for the check. He set up exactly like I wanted, and he played right into my hands. He was a check right here. So what I was hoping was he would do something like this, or some, I don't know, something, move the king somewhere, and this allows me to promote. I was thinking at this point, maybe he's probably going to do this trade. I'm going to come out with a rook. And that's exactly what happened. I then now had a big problem. These 3 pawns could actually be a problem. If he was able to execute it correctly, he would actually come out. I was also watching his clock, though. I had gotten him into in a bunch of sticky situations where he had to think a while, and that was actually draining his clock. Now, I took his pawn here, and now I have a chance to take here, but of course I'm not going to do that. I moved the pawn over. Then I moved, and this is where I felt kind of trapped. I couldn't really move my king anywhere. This was going to have to be a move from the rook. I needed him to stop this right here, because if my opponent's pawn moved forward, I could bring in the rook here, and my king was also covering, so his king couldn't go in. So I just moved it back, allowing me to stay in that same position. Then he moved his king up, allowing my king to be, untrapped. And then I took here, and then I don't know if this was a misclick or if he was thinking he would get more mercy if he turned it into a bishop instead. I don't know, but I took it anyways. Now I just corner him, classic checkmate with a rook and king, and I won. I actually had a missed win in this game, so if you spot that, make sure to comment down below. But now my ELO is up to 1,043, and I am starting to inch